Okay guys, welcome back. Hope you're looking forward to this FIFA Club World Cup. Obviously we're missing a few players here because of the Under 21 World Cup, but I still think we've got a good strong squad here and we all want to bounce back from what happened in the Champions League final. I know we do. We're going back to Italy, and the way I see it, who wants to be European champions when you can be world champions? Okay, so the way I see it, we've got a chance here to really put a marker down, and the way I'm looking at my watch, it's clobbering time. Let's go, boys. Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 143 of Husavik Heroes here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and coming up in today's episode we play through the group stages of the FIFA Club World Cup, and if we can get through this we will have the finals coming up in tomorrow's episode. So if you are looking forward to this one, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying this series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But we are going to start off with an update on the European rankings off the back of playing in the Champions League final in yesterday's episode. If you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it in the top right corner. You probably could tell by the intro that things didn't quite go to plan there. A close 2-1 loss there to Manchester City, which is a little bit frustrating because we did grab an early lead in that one, but in the end Man City were far too strong for us, so we ended up finishing as runners-up in the Champions League. But we get a pretty immediate chance here to bounce back in the FIFA Club World Cup. But as I said before that, we do have a ranking update in terms of Europe going into the next European season, which I think we're going to start at the start of next week with a Champions League playoff to make sure that we do make the group stages yet again. So first things first, in terms of the leagues, we have moved up from 18th to 15th, going up 3 places. Just a small rise there, but still gradually working our way towards the top 10 in the league list, as well as on the coefficient table. So good progress there in terms of the Icelandic league. And as well as that, we are now up to 7th for club rankings, moving up from 13th, going up 6 places. And what that should mean for the next European season is no matter what competition we do end up in, I think we might have a decent chance of potentially being in the top pot instead of the second pot. So that is a good rise for us. Obviously, that's going to be dependent on the teams who won the Europa League and whatnot, what pot they are in as well. But we've got a decent chance potentially of ending in that top pot. But at the very least, we should yet again be in the second pot for the next Champions League draw. And we are a dangerous team that I don't think many teams are going to want to play against off the back of our efforts over the past few seasons. As well as that, there is the confirmation of the rise up the coefficient table as we looked at the end of yesterday's episode. We go up from 13th to 11th, jumping above both Russia and Belgium. However, I was slightly wrong. I thought we might be getting up to getting an automatic group spot for the Champions League for that 2034-35 season. As it turns out, we are still going to be in a Champions Path playoff, so haven't quite done enough just yet to get an automatic group spot. That probably is going to happen when we do reach the top 10, but we do still have our 2 teams in Champions League qualifying after this season. A team in the Europa League playoff instead of the 3rd qualifying round. As I said, that's very good because that guarantees we'll have one other team in the group stages of Europe alongside us, as well as teams in the 3rd and 2nd qualifying round of the Conference League. So a good little rise for us there on the coefficient table. We're not too far away now from getting an automatic spot to make sure that we are in the Champions League each and every season. But before we do go forward and have a look at the Club World Cup group stage, which we are about to play, and I did forget in yesterday's episode leading in to that Champions League final to update you guys on what has happened domestically off the back of the semi-final, which we did play against Chelsea. We did play our first 4 games of the league season, and we did pick up wins leading into that Champions League final. 3-0 at home against NxGn, 4-0 away at Half Nafshador, 5-0 at home against HK. A very good win there from our full strength team. That was the last game that they played leading into that Champions League final. And then away at Viking, they picked up a 2-0 win. So that means that we are 4 from 4 in the league so far, albeit if we go over to the league table, we are not on top because we've just fallen behind in terms of games played. While we have played that Champions League final and the latter stages of the Champions League, and that's going to get even worse as we do take part here in this Club World Cup. Will be interesting to see just how far behind we do fall with our involvement in this competition, as well as the Malka Bickerin as well. I think we're going to be falling behind a little bit in both of those competitions, which might mean we get quite a congested schedule off the back of this FIFA Club World Cup. But as you might have been able to tell before, you can see the teams who are in our Club World Cup group, and it is quite a good group as well because it's two teams who aren't from Europe. When I was watching Second Yellow Card's Twitch save last year with Tromsø in Norway, you could tell that he was getting a little bit frustrated by quite regularly getting two European teams alongside him in the group stages for this Club World Cup. That is not the case with us here. We have got ES Sahel out of Tunisia in Africa, and we have also got Palmeiras out of Brazil, and that is our first game. That is going to be quite a big one, so there's a bit of an African and South American flavour as well as us in this group, so it's a quite interesting group here, but hopefully we can make our way through it and make sure that we do have some finals football to look forward to in tomorrow's episode, especially as you don't actually get paid in this Club World Cup unless you make the final four. So that would be really nice. Make sure that this trip is not a complete waste of time in terms of the monetary effect. But we'll also have a look at the other groups as well as the preliminary round for this competition. A little bit of a mismatch here, it is fair to say, as Juventus took on Lautoko out of Fiji. No surprises that Juventus won this, albeit only by a scoreline of 3-0, but that was a little bit of an impossible task there for the Fijians. So Juventus made their way through to the group stages of this competition. A quick look at all the groups. Group A, Pachuca, Man City, and Juventus. Group B, Al Ittihad, Atletico Paranaense, and Real Madrid. So the winners of Group A and B will play off in one quarterfinal, and it works off like that with C and D, E and F, and G and H. Group C is Medellin out of Argentina, Man United, and Zamalek out of Egypt. They will play the winners of Group D, which is Bayern Munich, Gremio, or Tigres. Group E is Arsenal, Flamengo, or Kawasaki Frontale out of Japan. We will play the winner of that group because our group is Group F, and we make our way down a little bit further. Group G, Atletico Mineiro, PSG, or Ulsan Hyundai will play the winner of the group, which is Chelsea, New York City FC, or Stade Malien. I'm not too sure how things do work out for the semi-finals, if they keep it to being one side of the draw. If that is the case, we would then play the winner of that quarterfinal that is played between the winners of Group G and Group H. So that's what things do look like going into this Club World Cup. A quick look at our opposition coming up in today's episode. First off, we are playing Palmeiras, so I imagine this is going to be quite a big game first up to decide who is going to take out this group, which we are in. They are a 4-star reputation club, so a little bit higher than us, but as we know, we are very much capable of beating teams of that reputation these days. Good South American club which have picked up 6 Copa Libertadores, including 4 since the save did start here in the Save universe. So they are going to be a team which we absolutely have to respect, but hopefully we can get the job done over those guys, and off the back of that we take on ES Sahel out of Tunisia. Only a 3-star reputation club, but I think the reason they get into this is because they won the CAF Confederation Cup in 2030, with it being a 4-year cycle now for this Club World Cup. I think, as I said, that is how they get in, but this is absolutely a team which we should be beating. So as I said, the first game of this group is very, very important as we do take on Palmeiras. But as mentioned in the intro, while this FIFA Club World Cup does go on, we also have the Under-21 World Cup on as well, and that means our squad looks a little bit different to how we would like it for this Club World Cup. In terms of our starting 11, when we are at full strength, it actually looks quite similar. Just the one change, Karel Giroud comes in for Lassana Doumbia, who we did actually register for this competition because at the time he was away with the French national team, but after that he dropped back down to the under-21s, which I didn't realise, so he's going to be unavailable for most of this Club World Cup. So that means that Karel Giroud is going to be our first choice starting box-to-box midfielder here for this tournament. We make our way down to the bench, and these are the options that we do have. Thiago Polo is currently out with the flu, but apart from that, the other 11 players on the bench there are our options. One player you might not be familiar with out of those there, and that is Louis Halila. He is a player who's only recently joined us. We signed him off the NxGen list a little while ago, but as I said, has only actually joined us early on in June. So another good player here who we have signed off of the NxGen list. And here's a first look at him. 2.5-star current ability, that 5-star potential, even if 4 stars of that is gold. He is a player very much like Krollo, who we did sign a few episodes ago for the right-hand side, who we're going to play in our backup team this season. And hopefully they can usurp someone in our first team over the next few years. But that does now mean we have some very, very promising options on both sides at wing-back in defense. And the 18-year-old Mexican, we signed him off of Xolas Tijuana, and that was for compensation of £650,000. Has already played one league game for us, decent rating there of 7.3, and hopefully when we call upon him here in this Club World Cup, he can do a decent job for us as a backup to Kenny Boreal. What that means is we're probably going to look to offload someone like Andy Harwood in the near future. He's not homegrown at club. I think it's better if we give the game time to someone like Luis Herrera as our backup left back, even though Herrera is a foreigner. So Andy Harwood is in the last year of his contract. I think what we might do going into the start of the next European season is try and offload Andy Harwood. We can give some game time to the likes of both Krollo, who is not available for this tournament. He is on under-21 World Cup duty, and Herrera, who hopefully will get a bit of game time here at this FIFA Club World Cup. But for the most part, most of our good players are available for this tournament. The bigger mission, Lassana Doumbia, while he is away on under-21 duty with the French team. But for this first game, being the one which I think is going to be the most important in this group stage, we are going with our best choice 11. As I said, just that one change there with Karel Giroud in the midfield for the absent Lassana Doumbia, and we'll come back shortly from Italy, where this tournament's being played. So the same nation which we just lost the Champions League final in. So an early chance here to try and avenge some demons, and we'll come back shortly and play the first game of our Club World Cup group against Palmeiras of Brazil. And only 2 minutes into this one, we have an early corner. We are in the green, and Ramadan gets his head on the end of that, comes off the crossbar. Palmeiras in the white, scramble that away, but that's a good early chance for us. Hopefully we can keep this good early pressure going. We try and put another one in there at the near post, but the Palmeiras defense do deal with that. I think Kalen Rakasan is offside there. Indeed, that is the case. Still 0-0 after a few minutes. And 5 minutes off the back of that opening highlight, we are back down the Palmeiras end, as they do have a goal kick, which they do take short, and they are going to look to play out from the back here. Absolutely unsure what to expect in this game against South American opposition. But as we saw when we had a look at this club, they are 4-star reputation, so we certainly need to respect them, especially with those 4 wins in the Copa Libertadores since this save did start, while we are yet to pick up a major continental trophy. But good work here from Nicholas Zimmerman, just holding the ball up as we look to go on the attack yet again. Adam Saki makes his way into the box, gets brought down there by Luis Fernando, and I think that is going to be a good chance for us here to get on the scoreboard from the penalty spot. We'll just wait for VAR to confirm it, and indeed it is a penalty, so a great chance here at the 9-minute mark for us to open the scoring. It is going to be Kalen Rakasan taking the penalties here. He is going to put this into the top right corner. Keeper goes the right way, but that is a really well taken penalty there from our Romanian midfielder. And after only 9 minutes, we do take a lead here, 1-0 Volsungur against Palmeiras. And almost immediately off the back of that penalty, we do have a restart here where Palmeiras are going to try and get their way back into this game. And they do hold the ball here around the halfway line. Veron plays that up to Muniz, but he passes it straight to Giroud, the one new player you could say from that Champions League final. And we get a chance again here to play out from the back, but a good start here in this game, which, as I said earlier, I think is going to be quite crucial in determining who does get out of this group. But a good tackle there from Palmeiras. They are back on the ball and try and get us on the counter-attack, although yet again give the ball away there. This time Basaro Gay with an interception. We play this one out to Nicholas Zimmerman. He squares it for Adam Saki. He gets his head on the end of that, and after earning us a penalty around about the 9-minute mark, he puts that into the top right corner. And quite early on here, after only 10 minutes, it's a quick fire double, and that makes it Volsungur 2, Palmeiras 0. It's a good ball in there from Zimmerman. Nice header there by the Moroccan striker, and it's early advantage Volsungur in the first game of this group. And we make our way forward now to the 17-minute mark. Yet again, we start off here with a goal kick to Palmeiras. They pump that deep, but only in the direction of Levan Tam. So yet again, we're going to get a chance here to play out from the back, but very happy with the start, as I said, against the team which is probably going to be our toughest opposition in this group. We tried to play a ball over the top here, but the Palmeiras defense did tidy things up, and Lulio in goal will roll this out here for Luis Fernando, the man who did bring down Adam Saki for that penalty, which did give us the 1-0 lead, but this time they're doing a decent job of playing out from the back, some short passing, albeit that is a loose pass. Elias Anderson gets a foot in, and we are now on the counter-attack. Kenny Boreal puts a nice ball in here for Adam Saki. He will gently roll that into the bottom right corner. He's having a good game here, earned us that penalty, and has scored 2 goals off the back of that. And very early on, we might already have gone a long way to topping this group, as it is 3-0 Volsungur at the 20-minute mark through Adam Saki off the nice ball there from Kenny Boreal. And that is half time here in the first game of the FIFA Club World Cup. We had a few chances off the back of that third goal, but nothing too threatening already. Looks like we are going to absolutely blow Palmeiras away here, so that is very encouraging. Should mean that we can top this group. We might make one change at half time. Karel Giroud did come into this one on a heavy workload. He is our only out-and-out box-to-box midfielder until Lassana Doumbia does return from under-21 World Cup duty. So with that in mind, I think what we might do here for the second half with that quite comfortable 3-0 lead is bring on Porstein Anason for him, but very comfortable here after 45 minutes. 3-0 as we're about to kick off the second half. And 7 minutes into the second half, we do have our first highlight here. There was one earlier one. It was a close call for a penalty for Palmeiras, but outside the box, it was Porstein Anason too, so he nearly got us in trouble nice and early, but in the end, it was a free kick from outside the box, which wasn't too threatening, but now it is us on the attack here early on in the second half. Traore plays that one back to Boreal. Anason plays it back to Basaroge. Some good pressure for us here yet again to start off the second half, albeit not a great ball there. Zimmerman has to retreat to get the ball back for us here, and we again start to look to drive forward, and Levan Tam, nice ball there for Nicholas. Zimmerman beats the goalkeeper at his near post, but we will just have to wait here for a VAR check, because that did look like a bit of a close call, so we'll just wait and see here if this goal is going to stand, and unfortunately it won't. It was a good finish there from Nicholas Zimmerman, but he was offside. We'll just wait and see how far offside he was. It's not much at all, if anything, but hopefully that's not going to harm us too much. Still 3-0 up here early in the second half. And up to the 58-minute mark, that highlight that did just start off the back of that offside potential goal was another offside, so that's why we didn't show you guys that one. But some more changes here. Our last few subs, Traore down to a red heart, so Janata will come on for him, and will also give Halila some game time for Kenny Boreal in this last half hour. And we are inside the last few minutes of this game. Unfortunately, the highlights that we have seen off the back of that offside goal to Zimmerman and those substitutions haven't been too threatening, but it does look like we are going to pick up a very comfortable 3-0 win here in our opening game of this FIFA Club World Cup. You can see there XG-wise, we did create a few chances, but as I said, didn't really look like scoring apart from that offside chance to Zimmerman. So in the end, we did enough there in the first half to make sure we pick up a 3-0 win against Palmeiras. As I said, that should make sure we go a long way towards topping this group. We come back in a few days' time now to play our second game of this group stage against ES Sahel. We'll be back shortly and run you guys through our team sheet for that one. And we are back a few days off the back of that first game of this FIFA Club World Cup. About to play our second one. A win here would guarantee ourselves the top spot in the group, no matter what happens in the last game between Sahel and Palmeiras. We have done a bit of rotation for this game. It's quite a short, sharp tournament, so any chance to rotate players should be used, I think. So we have done that. Our entire defence has been changed up. So a back four of Carlo, Polo, De Prisco, and the young left back in Herrera. Also added in is Anason for Giroud, seeing as he is on a heavy workload with the absence of Doumbia at the moment. And as well as that, Jonata at left wing and Hercules Delfino up front. So a lot of rotation for this one, but this is a game we really should be winning against the three-star reputation club, who only really got here because they did win the second tier African title a few seasons ago. So hopefully we can pick up a win here and guarantee ourselves some finals football in tomorrow's episode. And we have to wait until the 15-minute mark for our first highlight in this one. We were just running backwards with the ball there when the highlight did start, but we now start to make our way forward yet again. We are in the green, and Sahel are in the red, as you would expect from a Tunisian team, as Paulo takes a lot of time there on the ball, but we start to make our way into the opposition half. Holila plays a ball in there for Jonata. He gets brought down, so yet again, we might get an early chance here to pick up a penalty. Nice little penalty assist there for the new left back in Herrera, as long as this does continue to get given off the back of the VAR check. And indeed, that is the case. So yet again, Kalen Rakasan has a chance to put us 1-0 up very early on here, albeit a little bit later than last time. At the 16-minute mark, this time he goes right down the middle. The keeper goes one way, and Kalen Rakasan picks up his 5th goal of the season. And after 16 minutes, we are on the right track here to be making our way through to the quarterfinals. It's 1-0 Volsungur. And up to the 21-minute mark for our next highlight. It starts off with a goal kick there to Sahel, but Basaroge does get possession back for us, and we do look to build steadily here as we play that ball to Paulstein Anason, but he plays that back to Thiago Polo, but we are still in the opposition half. Nice ball over the top there from Zimmerman for Hercules. Delfino buries that in the bottom right corner. We'll just have to wait and see yet again here for VAR, see what they have to say, but this time the goal will stand, and that makes it 2-0 after 20 minutes, and we're already looking like we are going to top this group and make our way through to the finals of this FIFA Club World Cup. Good finish there from the young Brazilian striker. 2-0 Volsungur after 21 minutes. And we go forward just shy of the half-hour mark for our next highlight. It was Sahel there briefly in possession, but we do get it back there. Nice little flick between the legs from Herrera as we do look to mount another attack here and might yet again potentially go 3-0 up before half-time. Jonata plays a ball over there for Zimmerman. Great chance, but just puts that wide. Still 2-0 Volsungur after half an hour. And only 5 minutes off the back of that previous highlight, Jonata is on the attack for us here as we make our way into the opposition box, and Holila plays that to Gay, a bit of 1-2 between those guys, and Anason will play that back to Basaroge. Nice ball over there from Herrera. It falls to Rakasan. Hercules Delfino puts that into the bottom left corner, but we're just going to have to wait here for yet again another VAR check. That one did look a little bit sketchy, just something not quite clicking as you would expect, and unfortunately Hercules Delfino has his 2nd goal of the game ruled out. That is for a handball from Rakasan. Still 2-0 a few minutes shy of half-time. And that is half-time in our 2nd game of this FIFA Club World Cup. Very dominant half from us there. We probably could have scored more than the 2 goals that we did get, but we take a 2-0 lead into the Sheds. I think we're looking at a pretty comfortable situation here, so we're going to make a few changes at half-time, taking off players who also played in that first game. So that means that Nicholas Zimmerman will come off. Patrick Nygaard can come on for him, and also Basaroge will give a rest to Brynjar Galtis on to come on for him. That means we've got 1 sub left for the second half, in a pretty strong position to be making the quarterfinals as we are 2-0 up. And just over 10 minutes into the second half, we do have our first highlight of it, albeit this time it is Sahel who are in possession off the back of a throw-in just inside our half. They do play that back though to their defenders, so hopefully we can press up nice and high here and try and get the ball back, and indeed we will. That's a loose pass there, which Paulstein Anason gets on the end of. Good chance there for Delfino, just puts it wide. Still 2-0 Volsungur, just shy of the hour mark. And only a few minutes off the back of that first highlight in the second half, we do have another Sahel playing a long ball forward there over the top, but we do get possession back there and look to hopefully make this 3-0. That should be a scoreline, which makes sure that we do make our way through to the quarterfinals, and we play a ball forward there to Nygaard, plays that to Delfino. He will chip the goalkeeper. This time he'll get his 2nd goal of the game, and as I said, that should make sure we have some finals footy here at the Club World Cup for tomorrow's episode. Some good build-up play. Jonata finding his wing partner in Patrick Nygaard, and Delfino with the deft chip there to make it 3-0 with 25 minutes left. And going forward now to the 73-minute mark, we're probably going to make our last substitution off the back of this highlight. Paulstein Anason down to a red heart, so Karel Giroux might have to come on for him, but it is Sahel here who are on the attack for the first time, which we've really seen in this game so far. They put a ball into the mixer, albeit Duplisco will head that away, but they are still on the attack. This time Ian Carlo heads it away, but yet again, they do still have possession, so looking a little bit more threatening than Palmeiras did in the previous game with this highlight alone. They play a ball forward there for Salem, but a good save there from Whirl Lurvik will make the substitution just in case we can avoid conceding a goal off the back of it, it will be Giroud coming on for Porstein Arnason. And indeed, they will still show this corner despite that last substitution, so we'll see if anything does come from it here for our opposition, but that ball is far too deep. That's the highlight. 15 minutes left, and we are still 3-0 up. And we do have a highlight late in this one with only 6 minutes left, but we are still 6-0 up, so should be making our way through to the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup, taking on the winner of Group E in tomorrow's episode. But we're going to have to go forward a little bit to see who does win that group, as we do just get possession back there and try and get something going here through Jonata. He plays that back to Halila and gets the ball back himself here. Kalen Rakasan just holds things up. Nice ball over the top for Delfino. Puts that into the top right corner. He might have his hat trick, but yet again, we are going to have to wait here for a VAR check for offside. Does Delfino have a hat trick? Unfortunately, he doesn't. So it's a few goals now that have been ruled off for offside for him, but he is looking quite threatening for us up front as a backup to Saki, but well offside there. Still 3-0 with only a few minutes left. And just coming up to full time in that second game of the group stage of the Club World Cup, yet again a very, very convincing win there, not under much pressure at all, and we will go through to the quarterfinals off the back of 2 3-0 wins in the end. Despite playing teams from different continents, we do make our way through quite nicely. As I said, that first one I think going to be quite important because Palmeiras, I think, would expect to beat ES Sahel in the last game of our group, but we played the first 2 match days of the Club World Cup, so still waiting to see who will top the other groups. So we'll go forward a few days now and see who we've got first up in tomorrow's episode in the quarterfinals. And we are back, having gone forward a few days to make sure that everyone has qualified out of their groups here for this Club World Cup, leading into tomorrow's episode, which is going to be all of the games in the finals, which might be a little bit of a test on the voice because there could be 3 games in that episode. So we're going to pretty much just be focusing on-field action in tomorrow's episode. But here's who won each group and what that means for the quarterfinals. Of course, we know that A plays B, C plays D and whatnot, so it's already determined pretty simply here who does play each other. But the top half of the draw is going to be Manchester City versus Real Madrid. That's a matchup, I think, from the first knockout round of the Champions League this past season, as those 2 teams do top Group A and Group B. Down to Group C and Group D now is going to be Manchester United taking on Bayern Munich. Again, I think that's a matchup which was quite early on in the Champions League this past season. Down to Group E, this is of extreme importance to us. We are taking on the team which knocked us out quite early in the Europa League a few seasons ago. We take on Arsenal, so that is the team we are taking on in the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup first thing in tomorrow's episode. And the last quarterfinal is going to be between PSG and Chelsea. That might be important in terms of who we do play in the semi-finals should we get past Arsenal. And hopefully that is the case, because if we make the semi-finals, that's when we will start to get paid for this FIFA Club World Cup. The group stage going exactly to plan. We make our way through. In fact, Sahel and Palmeiras haven't even played their last game yet, but we have just had the confirmation through that we are taking on Arsenal in the first game of tomorrow's episode. And as you can see, indeed, what we suspected is the case, because if we get through that one, we play the winner of PSG or Chelsea in the semi-finals. So that's what's coming up in tomorrow's episode. We'll probably come back and just get straight into that game, just on the off chance that we do make the final, because that means we'd have 3 games coming up in tomorrow's episode. But if you did enjoy this one today, the group stages of the Club World Cup, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying this series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. And until tomorrow, where we play the finals of the Club World Cup, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.